One thing I learned is that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not everywhere. And on YouTube too, I have one video there which explains like how to get a remote jobs online.
Today, Kweku Tech is live in the Ashanti region of Ghana, in the capital city called Kumasi. I'll be having a conversation with one of the tech developers here in the Ashanti region. He will be sharing his experience and his journey so far as a software engineer here. Welcome to Kweku Tech. If today is your first time here, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button and the notification icon below. Please, what's your name?
My name is Baah Kusi. I'm a software architect.
Baah,
Baah, yes.
B-A-A-H.
Yes.
Please, can you tell us about yourself, like where you grew up?
I grew up in Old Weja.
Bawi.
Yes, that side. My GHS was Weja Presby GHS, and then SS was St. Peter's. After that, I came to Tech to do actuarial science. Through actuarial science, we had one class there was some programming in there, and that's when I got very interested.
So was it the first time you heard about programming? Was it in the university or?
It was the first time I heard of programming.
How were you able to adjust?
I'll say that maybe programming was waiting for me or something like that.
Okay.
Because first year university, second year it was getting boring. But it was in second year that course came around. That was the first time I found something that was very interesting to me. Yes. So even after that, I wasn't going to class a lot.
Which programming language was taught at that moment when you fell in love with that?
So at that moment it was MATLAB. We were doing numerical analysis. Yes, numerical analysis.
Oh, okay.
In MATLAB, and then we're writing some code, and that was the first time I got interested in it.
So after that, which programming languages did you?
So after that, there was this guy. It's called Bright. Yeah. So he was already into programming and everything. So I went to him and he gave me some videos on HTML. He gave me videos on Java, like a lot of videos. That was like second semester. We went home for long back. So I was watching the videos and programming and all of that. So I started with Java. I did Java. So I got a book and I read the book. Yes. And that was like
your turning point.
Yes.
So how do you feel now when you look back on yourself, like finding yourself in another field and diverting into programming?
Oh, so I think like maybe if I ended up being like maybe an actuarial scientist, life would have been boring for me. But as a programmer, you always have like new problems, and that's what is interesting for me, like to see hard things and try to solve them and everything. With actuarial science, it was like formulas, like even if you had a question, you already knew like the formulas you had to use. So it's kind of like, okay, you have to remember the formula. It was boring. Yeah.
So what are some of the companies you've worked with so far as a developer?
I've worked with Turing. Turing is a platform that through Turing you can work with other companies. So over there I work with like 2 companies, all of them both in the Silicon Valley area there. Then I left Turing to work in an African startup called Ijara. Yeah, so that's my current company now. It's an investment app that gives you access to investment assets like cryptos and tokenized assets, right? So for example, recently we built a product called tokenized bond, which is like we bought government bonds and we tokenize them onto the blockchain, and we sell them in small pieces for individuals, right? So because usually the bond is very expensive, right? Maybe you might need like a lot of money to buy, but not everybody has that money. But if they still want to participate, how do they participate? So we bought it, or we do that, and then we tokenize it on the blockchain, and then they can buy it in small quantities, and like they can usually also, when you buy a bond, you have to wait for like maybe 1 year or something, like your money is there, right? But with this one, we also offer them the opportunity that maybe in case they need the money or something, they can just withdraw it.
At Ijara, what do you do?
Yeah, so at Ijara, I'm actually like a manager. I'm the head of R&D, DevOps, and security. I'm mostly like doing software architecture of new software systems. Then we supervise the teams to work on them. Sometimes I also write code a lot because I'm the main blockchain person over there, right? It's a blockchain company and I'm the main blockchain person over there.
Hey Jara, let me ask you this question. What are some of the things you look out for when you are employing junior software engineers or people coming up? What are some of the things that junior software should do
So if you're a junior developer, you're now starting, maybe you don't even have 1 year of experience, or you have 1 year of experience, just apply as intern. For me, what I look for is the enthusiasm of the person. You can be good, but if you're not enthusiastic about what you're going to do, I will not move forward with you. So that's one thing. Of course, you have to be good. That's so. Of course, the normal, we do the normal tech interview. If you don't pass, that's fine. But if you do pass, the other thing that I'm looking for is enthusiasm. So, for example, if let's say we give you a test to go and do, not like maybe finishing it fast, but maybe you being able to communicate, like, okay, I didn't get something, okay, here's this, you ask us, okay, what is happening here, or like explain this to me, or something like that. That alone shows that, okay, if you're working with you, it will not be difficult, because if I'm hiring a junior developer, I know that definitely you get some things wrong. But if you're someone who is not enthusiastic, who is not going to ask questions, like you don't know what you're doing, but you also don't communicate about it, right? Then it will be difficult to work with you.
This is a piece of advice to you junior developers and people who are coming into tech. This is from a manager's perspective. Please take note of this. From your intro, you did say you were based in Accra. So why now in Kumasi? What has changed that you have to change environment from the capital city to the let me say the Kumasi?
Yeah, so I mean, I came to university in Kumasi.
Okay.
And after some time living in Accra, when I started working, I just wanted a change of environment. Yeah, so the next best place was Kumasi. I already know the place.
So how has life been here in the tech space?
So actually, when I came to Kumasi, I opened an office for Ijara, because Ijara is not in Ghana, but we just opened an office for those who are working in Ghana. So in terms of availability of developers, like in Kumasi, yes, there are a lot of developers.
So like because most of your developers are based here, that's why you came here, or it's just because you want to change the environment, that's why you came here?
No, because we also have developers in Accra.
Oh, okay.
But for me personally, I just wanted to change the environment.
Okay. How has life been in terms of transportation and food or rent here in Kumasi compared to Accra?
Yeah, compared to Accra, Kumasi is very good. In terms of rent, that one there, don't even get me started, right? Because Accra, the rent is crazy. Yeah, you're even paying rent in dollars and all of that. It doesn't make sense. And the food is also like very, very good. Since I came here, I've had some friends from Accra come to visit me, and when they buy food, they're like, "Hey, are they any more for pounds?" Yeah, so it's like quite low compared to Accra.
If you're a developer and you are based in Accra and you want somewhere to move to, Charlie, they said Ashanti region food are cheap and transportation is cheap, rent is cheap. Just look for a remote job and relocate to the Ashanti region. I can testify to that myself, because when I came here, I realized the transportation especially is very cheap, and rent but where I'm staying is like very moderate. Which advice would you give to someone coming up into the software engineering industry?
So for someone coming up into the software engineering industry at this point, the advice I'll give them is to focus on the software engineering concepts, right? Like how to architect the system, what are the components that go into software, building software, those are the kind of like top level concepts that you need to focus on. Just decide on a programming language that you want to use. At least for the first few years, just stick to that programming language and use it. And also one type of software development. Let's say if you want to be a front-end web developer, focus on that. If you want to be a mobile app developer, focus on that. If you want to be a back-end developer, focus on that. At least for some time until you've mastered it. Then you can easily move into other areas. Using myself as example, when I started, I even started with Java. Then I went to PHP and then I did some back-end development for a long time. After a long time, I went to use Python. It was quite easy to move to Python, where I used to do also back-end development. Then I started doing some front-end, right? Because by then I was already very comfortable with the back-end. Started doing some front-end. Now I'm a blockchain also developer. Yeah, just take it one at a time. Focus, learn the concept in software engineering. Once you get familiar with those, you can easily move to other places because it's the same thing.
Please take note of this and keep it in mind. Your last words for our audience.
For your audience, I believe most of them are tech enthusiasts and software developers and everything. So I was looking for a job within Ghana, right? And it was difficult to get. And someone said, "Oh, you have to look outside also." And that's when I really started doing my research and looking outside for remote jobs. And I was able to get some, right? And the people that I worked with in the remote companies, they were all happy with the work that I did for them, and so on and so forth. So it all comes down to the fact that talent is universal, but opportunity is not. So create the opportunities for yourself. Don't wait for them to come to you.
Create opportunities for yourself. Don't wait for them to come to yourself. Please, your social media handles for people who are willing to follow you. Or
on Twitter, my username is Kusi.
Okay.
So K and then Kusi. And then on LinkedIn is Kusi. If you just search for Kusi, you find me. And on YouTube too is Kusi. Okay. I have a YouTube channel I just created to explain to people how to apply for remote jobs online.
I'll leave the link of his YouTube channel under the description. Please don't forget to follow him and subscribe to his YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel too if you haven't done that. Peace.